There is a weight you have been carrying. You feel it when you wake up in the middle of the night. You feel it in the hesitation before you speak. You feel it in the exhaustion that has nothing to do with how much sleep you got. It is the weight of living a life that is not entirely your own. We move through this world thinking that our hardest challenges are the events that happen to us. The job loss, the breakup, the failure. But the Stoics, those ancient masters of the mind, knew the truth. They knew that the hardest challenge isn't the mountain in front of you. The hardest challenge is the pebble in your shoe. It is the subtle, daily betrayals of your own character. It is the moment you said yes, when your soul screamed no. It is the apology you gave for existing. It is the silence you kept to avoid a conflict that needed to happen. Seneca, the great Roman statesman and philosopher, once asked a question that should haunt us all. How long will you wait to demand the best for yourself? And most of us are waiting. We are waiting for permission. We are waiting for the world to become easier. We are waiting for the perfect moment to become who we are meant to be. But the Stoics teach us that the wait is a trap. The only moment you have is now, and the only territory you can conquer is your own mind. If you are tired of feeling fragile, if you are tired of being at the mercy of other people's opinions, then you are ready for this philosophy. We are going to explore 6 specific, toxic patterns that are draining your power, and we are going to use the blade of Stoic wisdom to cut them out. This is not just a video. This is a reconstruction of your character. Let us begin too. The curse of over-explaining. We begin with a behavior that looks like politeness, but is actually a profound lack of self-respect. Over-explaining yourself. You know this pattern. You make a decision. Perhaps you decline an invitation, or you choose a different career path, or you simply buy something you want, and then immediately the panic sets in. You feel a frantic need to justify it. You offer 3, 4, 5 reasons why you did what you did. You talk until the air leaves the room, desperate for the other person to nod, to approve, to tell you that you are allowed to make that choice. This is harmful because it signals to the world, and more importantly, to your own subconscious, that you do not have sovereignty over your own life. When you over-explain, you are essentially saying, I do not trust my own judgment, so I am submitting it to the court of public opinion for a verdict. You are handing your autonomy to others, asking them to stamp your decisions with their approval. The Stoics found this behavior absurd. Epictetus, the slave who became a legendary teacher, put it bluntly. He said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. He didn't mean you should actually be stupid. He meant you must be willing to be misunderstood. A king does not explain his decree to every passerby. A lion does not apologize for hunting. A Stoic does not beg to be understood. If your decision is virtuous, if it is rooted in reason, the explanation is unnecessary. If it is not, no amount of explanation will fix it. Here is your Stoic strategy for silence. Step 1. Awareness. Catch yourself in the ramble. Notice when you have stated your point, but you keep talking to fill the silence. Notice that rising anxiety that says, they don't believe me yet. Step 20. Internal response. Tell yourself this mantra, my choices are valid because they are mine. Remind yourself that you are not on trial. Step 3. External action. Use the period technique. State your decision, and then stop. I cannot come to the party. Period. I am resigning from this position. Period. Do not add because. Do not add I hope you understand. Just stop. Let the silence hang there. Step 40. The psychology. This works because silence projects confidence. When you stop talking, you force the other person to fill the gap with their own assumptions, which are usually more generous than your desperate explanations. You reclaim your status as the protagonist of your life. 3. The trap of seeking validation. The second chain we must break is seeking constant validation. This is the addiction of the modern age. We live in a hall of mirrors. We post, we share, we speak, and then we wait. We wait for the likes, the nods, the compliments. We check the temperature of the room before we decide how we feel. If they applaud, we are happy. If they criticize, we are crushed. This is a dangerous way to live, because it makes you a slave. If your happiness depends on someone else's praise, then your misery is also in their hands. You have given them the remote control to your emotions. You are building your house on sand, and the tide of public opinion is always shifting. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth, fought this battle within himself. He wrote in his private journals, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Think about the insanity of that. You are the one who has to live your life. You are the one who feels your pain and your joy. Why then does the opinion of a stranger, or a neighbor, or a co-worker matter more than your own estimation of yourself? The Stoic view is that the only validation that matters is self-validation. Did you act with virtue? Did you do your best? That is the only metric. Here is your strategy for autonomy's step 1: awareness. Notice the gap of insecurity. This is the moment between doing something good and telling someone about it. Notice the urge to report your success just to hear "good job." Step 2: internal response. Ask yourself, would I still be happy with this achievement if no one else ever knew about it? If the answer is no, your motivations are corrupted. Step 3: external action. Practice sacred virtue. Do one good thing this week that nobody will ever know about. Pick up trash when no one is looking. Donate anonymously. Work hard on a project and don't mention the overtime. Step 4: the psychology. By withholding the reward of external validation, you force your brain to generate dopamine from the act itself. You retrain your mind to value the doing rather than the being seen. You build an inner scorecard that no one can take away from you. 4. The cowardice of silence. The third lesson addresses a behavior we often mistake for kindness: staying silent to keep the peace. You see something wrong, but you say nothing. You are treated poorly, but you bite your tongue. You have a brilliant idea, but you keep your hand down. You tell yourself you are being easygoing or diplomatic. But the Stoics would call this what it often is: cowardice. When you stay silent to keep the peace, you are not creating peace. You are merely internalizing the war. You are swallowing a poison that will eventually turn into resentment, bitterness, and passive aggression. You are letting a lie stand in the place of truth. The Stoics believed deeply in the concept of logos, universal reason and truth. To deny the truth is to deny nature itself. Seneca warned us, "Guilty is he who does not stop a sin when he can." By allowing bad behavior to continue unchecked, you become an accomplice to it. You teach people how to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect, you authorize it. Here is your strategy for courageous speech. Step 1: teen awareness. Identify the gulp. That physical sensation in your throat when you want to speak but fear the reaction. That is your signal. Step 2: internal response. Reframe the conflict. Tell yourself, the discomfort of speaking now is less than the pain of resenting this forever. Remind yourself that conflict is not inherently bad. It is often the fire that forges truth. Step 3: external action. Use the objective observation method. Do not attack the person, describe the reality. Instead of "you are being rude," say, "When you speak to me in that tone, I cannot engage with you productively." Speak the truth without heat. Step 4: the psychology. When you break the silence, you break the tension of the unknown. Most fears about confrontation are catastrophic fantasies. When you actually speak, you realize the monster was a shadow. You align your outer world with your inner reality, which eliminates cognitive dissonance. 5. The burden of false blame. Next, we must confront the martyr complex, accepting blame that isn't yours. There is a type of person, perhaps you are one of them, who acts as a sponge for the world's negativity. When a project fails, you assume you didn't work hard enough. When a friend is in a bad mood, you wonder what you said to upset them. You walk through life apologizing for the weather. This seems noble, like taking responsibility, but it is actually a form of ego. To think you are the cause of everything is to think you are the center of the universe. It is a refusal to accept the reality that other people have agency, that luck plays a role, and that chaos is part of nature. This violates the most fundamental principle of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus opened his handbook with this rule: some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. If you take responsibility for things that are not up to you, other people's feelings, the economy, the traffic, the results of an election, you are setting yourself up for a life of anxiety and crushing guilt. You are trying to carry the sky on your shoulders. Here is your strategy for mental protection. Step 1: awareness. Notice the word fault in your internal monologue. It's my fault they are angry. It's my fault the dinner was ruined. Step 2: an internal response. Apply the control filter. Ask, did I intend for this to happen? Did I execute my actions with virtue? If the answer is yes, then the outcome is indifferent. Step 3: external action. Verbalize the boundary. When someone tries to dump their emotional baggage on you, visualize a shield. You can say, I am sorry you are going through this, without saying, I am sorry I caused this. Empathy is not the same as admission of guilt. Step 4: the psychology. This is known as differentiation. By clearly defining where you end and others begin, you preserve your energy. You stop being an emotional absorbent pad and start being a lighthouse, standing strong amidst the waves, but not drowning in them. 6. The chaos of inconsistency. The 5th lesson is about the slow death of potential, allowing inconsistency. We all have days where we feel motivated, where we write the plan, eat the healthy food, and do the work, and then a bad day hits. We slip, and because we slipped, we abandon the whole path. We allow our moods to dictate our actions. We are professional starters and amateur finishers. Inconsistency is harmful because it erodes self-trust. Every time you make a promise to yourself and break it, you teach your brain that your word means nothing. You become a stranger to yourself. The Stoics didn't believe in motivation. They believed in habit and ritual. Musonius Rufus, the teacher of Epictetus, taught that theory is useless without practice. He compared philosophy to a craft, like carpentry or medicine. You don't become a doctor by reading about surgery. You become a doctor by practicing it. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up every day wanting to lead the empire. He had to drag himself out of bed. He wrote to himself, at dawn when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. Here is your strategy for unshakable discipline. Step 1: awareness. Recognize the negotiation. This is the voice that says, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm too tired. A Step 2: internal response. Shut down the negotiation. The Stoics have a phrase, faxi facis. Do it if you are going to do it. Treat the action as non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. Step 3: external action. The floor principle. Set a goal so small you cannot fail. If you cannot work out for an hour, do 1 push-up. If you cannot write a chapter, write 1 sentence. Consistency matters more than intensity. Do not break the chain. Step 4: the psychology. This utilizes behavioral momentum. It is easier to steer a moving ship by doing something, anything, even on your worst days. You maintain your identity as someone who shows up. You prove to yourself that you are the master of your moods, not their servant. 7. The betrayal of intuition. Finally, the 6th and perhaps most spiritual lesson, ignoring your intuition. We live in a world of data, luck, and external advice. We have trained ourselves to ignore the quiet whisper in our gut. You meet someone and something feels off, but you rationalize it away. You are in a job that looks good on paper, but your soul feels heavy every morning. You ignore these signals until disaster strikes, and then you say, I knew it. I knew it all along. Ignoring your intuition is a rejection of your own nature. The Stoics believed that every human being is born with a share of the divine reason, the Daimon within. This is your inner guide. It is the part of you that knows the way before your logical brain has figured out the map. When you ignore this guide, you are living against nature. You are forcing a square peg into a round hole. The Stoics taught that tranquility comes from living in accordance with nature, your nature. Here is your strategy for reconnecting. Step 1: awareness. Notice the physical signs of wrongness: a tight chest, a lack of energy, a sense of dread. These are not just emotions, they are data. Step 28, internal response. Ask the Stoic question, does this align with my character? Not, does it pay well? Not, is it popular? But is it me? Step 3, external action. The quiet room. You cannot hear a whisper in a hurricane. You must carve out time for solitude. 10 minutes a day, no phone, no music, no input. Just sit, ask your intuition a question and wait for the immediate, visceral answer. Step 4, hey, the psychology. Intuition is often pattern recognition running at high speed. Your subconscious has processed millions of micro cues that your conscious mind missed. By listening to it, you are tapping into a deeper intelligence. You are integrating your rational mind with your primal wisdom. 8, closing. The fortress of the mind, these 6 lessons. Stopping the over-explaining, ending the validation-seeking, breaking the silence, refusing false blame, mastering consistency, and trusting your intuition. These are not just tips. They are the bricks with which you build your inner citadel. Life will not stop being hard. The Stoics never promised an easy life. They promised a strong heart. They promised that if you cultivate your character, if you focus on what you can control and accept what you cannot, you will find a peace that passes all understanding. You will become like the rock that the waves crash against. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. That rock is you. Let us cement this transformation right now. I want you to make a commitment to yourself, not to me but to the person in the mirror. Scroll down and comment the following affirmation. I am T master of mind, not T event of my emotions. Write it on it. Let it be the first step in your new direction. If this message resonated with you, you know what to do. Join us. Subscribe to continue this journey toward calm, clarity, and unshakable inner strength. The past is dead. The future is uncertain. But this moment is yours.